smooth the fur around her infants' faces. The babies put their arms around their mother's neck and pay attention while being bathed. Rats and mice fall in love, risk their lives to save their kids, and giggle when tickled. Evan Walker writes of a mouse who died of shock in a trap. His life was a life fully as real to him as ours is to us. This creature, for all the irritation it may have brought as it scampered through closed closets or up some crevice in a wall, was as precious as you or I. He was not a machine that breaks and fails. He felt. His was consciousness, full and real and fragile and precious. This is Ingrid Newkirk with Peter, reminding us that it's easy to be kind, perhaps by not using glue traps.
Welcome back to One Life Radio. This is Bernadette with the Diamond Gray. I've got Lexi and Avi in studio with me. I also have Eddie Lott is staying in the studio with us, and Jill Lane. Jill Lane is a pro athlete health and nutrition coach and founder of Fueling Champions. Fueling Champions is a 3-step sports performance and athletic nutrition program built to maximize the potential of student athletes and the parents that support them. You can find Jill Lane at Team Fueling Champions on Instagram and on her website, fuelingchampions.org. Today we're talking about how much protein should we be eating? This is such a huge question. People ask about this all the time. So why do we even need to eat protein? I'm going to start with that, even though I know. We need to live.
Right? Protein is a critical source of something called amino acids. And if you played with Legos as a kid, or if you have kids that play with Legos, think of amino acids as amino Legos. Think of amino acids as Legos. They build things in the body. They build muscle tissue. They build mood chemicals. They help build digestive enzymes, and on and on and on. And so without those building blocks, we can't have those things I just listed. So it's critical.
Like the mitochondria.
Yeah, I mean, they don't build mitochondria, but they interplay in the processes that happen in the mitochondria.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily a fuel source, although they can become one, or they can be turned into a fuel source. They're more, think of them more as a building block. So when you look in yourself in the mirror, you're looking at what protein helps to build.
Mm-hmm. Well, and when people think of protein, they almost automatically think of meat.
Right.
Okay. And we've become a society, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's, that have just become obsessed with the meat. But I'm discovering a little bit about that. I did some research on it, and there's a lot of money spent by a lot of different associations to get us to eat a lot of meat. I don't think that's necessarily good for us. We're going to be doing a little bit of investigating and actually talking about it in the upcoming months quite a bit. But when I think of protein, I don't necessarily think of meat, but I'm not programmed for that. So what should you think of when you think of foods that contain protein?
So amino acids, well, that's the way I like to think about it. Amino acids are found in almost every food we eat, with the exception of straight fat. So if you think of coconut oil or olive oil, there's an abundance of amino acids in fat, pure fat. But in everything else, there's amino acids. So plants, nuts and seeds, of course, anything from an animal, meats from an animal, dairy products. Those are kind of the big groups. I mean, that's everything else we eat outside of fat. So plants, nuts and seeds, which are plants, beans and legumes and lentils, which are plants. And then, things that come from animals. So everything that's dairy. And then, of course, chicken, fish, eggs, beef, bison, on and on and on.
Well, I'm going to ask a question. I'm not sure if I've ever asked you this before, but a lot of people, I think about this. What makes beans and rice a complete protein?
Well, technically, a complete protein is when all of the essential amino acids are intact, as if they were in an animal protein. And so in the plant world, some of the issue around is rice a good source of protein, or are peas a good source of protein? They're compared back to the array of essential amino acids. An essential amino acid means we can't make it in our body. We have to eat it in the outside world in order for our body to get it. And we need the essential amino acids to, like I said, build muscle, repair ourselves from injury. And so rice and even soy to a certain extent and pea protein they're either missing an essential amino acid or they're low in it. And so most people people who've been in the vegetarian or vegan world for a long time know of what's called food combining. They eat beans and rice together because when you do that, the gaps are filled by the other.
Oh, nice.
Or they eat nuts and seeds are a big filler for to add with rice or to add with beans to up the essential amino acid content to make it more like what would come from an animal protein.
Okay. Well, so how much protein should we really be eating every day?
I think that's a really great question. In the RDA is half of a gram per kilogram of body weight, which is hard to figure out. So to figure out how many kilograms you weigh, you divide your weight by 2.2. And then you multiply that, you just take half of that. In my opinion, that's low. I like people to live somewhere around half of their body weight in grams of protein per day. Now, if you think about that, so that's if you weigh 150 pounds, we'll do easy math, that's 75 grams of protein divided out into 3 meals and maybe one snack. You're maybe at around 15 to 25 grams of protein at each of those feedings. And so then you backfill it with any of those sources we just talked about, nuts and seeds, plants, beans, legumes, eggs, fish, turkey. Now, some people need more than that. Anybody that's growing, aka kids, up to about the age of 25, young adults up to about the age of 25, if you're healing from a surgery or anything like that, the literature shows you need more. And if you're an athlete, the literature shows you need more. And if you're over the age of 60, you go back to needing more, partly because our digestion starts to go to crap as we get older, and we need more protein to help trigger, not only get past digestive incapabilities, but also to keep lean body mass on, because the loss of muscle is one of the biggest predictors of aging as we get older.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there anything that you should, because I'm reading this about 6 signs that you're eating way too much protein. Can you eat? Obviously, you can eat too much protein. They talk about constipation, feeling super thirsty if you're eating too much protein, moodiness.
Well, here's the deal. One, you've had one of the king of all protein researchers on the show very regularly, Dr. Joey Antonio.
Dr. Joey Antonio.
He's done long-term studies on people eating 3 times, 4 times the amount of protein I just talked about. No issue on bone health, no issue on kidney health, as long as it didn't have predetermined kidney disease. And so what the takeaway is, or what the rap on protein has been, is that it's dangerous if you eat too much. It's bad on your kidneys, it's bad on your bone. None of that is true.
Well,
none of that is true.
Right. But I think it's the type of protein that can be so hard on your body, too. If you're eating poor quality meat, a lot of poor quality meat, you are going to have health ramifications.
But here's the deal. Protein doesn't cause constipation. What the takeaway is that people think people think eating a high protein diet means you don't eat any plants.
Right, I know.
And that's the misnomer. We have to change, just kind of like with the recycling conversation. Just because you're eating quote unquote high protein doesn't mean that's all you eat. And so you get constipated because you stop eating plants.
Yes.
Hear this. Everybody should be eating a plant-based diet. Everybody should be eating a plant-based diet.
Yep.
In addition to that, you should be eating healthy fats and protein. Now, you get to choose where your protein comes from. Do you want to eat fish? Do you want to eat beef? Do you want to eat eggs? Do you want to eat pea protein, plant-based protein? You get to choose that.
Right.
But everybody should be eating plant-based diet. That's what all the longevity studies show.
Yep.
Period. End of story. If you're getting constipated on a high-protein diet, it's because you forgot the plants.
Right.
Period.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And of course, I have to give a shout out to one of our great sponsors, long-term sponsors, is Sun Warrior. It's plant-based protein. It's organic. It's full spectrum of the amino acids with the lysine and leucine and all those things that you need if you're going to be a vegan or vegetarian. But plant-based diet is good for you. Like you just said, period. Yeah. It is the optimal diet, to be honest.
In my athletes, I use plant-based powders, similar to Sun Warrior, to augment protein, because for them and their body weight, it's hard to physically consume the amount of protein they need based on their training load.
Right.
I have them eating animal-based protein, but supplementing with plant-based protein, because we all need to eat plants.
Yes,
and I think a smart thing is to not always be eating the same protein all the time. And, it's a whole other topic to get into. Okay, we need to know, be really cautious about where our protein comes from, how it was raised, if it was from an animal. But you know what? Same goes for the plants. It's the same discussion for everything. But don't get so freaked out that you just stop eating. Just be really smart about, how much you're eating. Don't be afraid to eat protein. In fact, most of the people that see me that have ailments, have performance-related issues, have issues with their health, they're not eating enough protein. So the fact that we're eating too much protein is not a true statement. I don't see that when people come into me. People are eating too much sugar and not enough plants.
Absolutely. Jill Lane, love it. Putting it out there. I just love it.
That is like
I do. I just love
more
you.
plants, less sugar, clean protein, drink water, be happy, get in the sun, recycle.
Yeah,
it's like a pretty easy equation.
Love it, everyone. Jill Lane, you can find her on Instagram at Team Fueling Champions or her website, fuelingchampions.org. We've got more coming up with Jill, raising the bar, and Eddie Lott is staying in studio with us. If you have any recycling questions or just want to call in to talk to Jill, 214-787-1190. We'll be right back.
Travel like gypsies in the night, and 1,000 times I've seen this road, 1,000 times. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no.
Consider this an invitation to relax and feel the stress melt away with a Sunlighten sauna. Sunlighten is the #1 choice for home and commercial infrared saunas. Their 3-in-1 infrared technology allows you to customize each session to you. Naturally de-stress, detoxify, and be heart healthy. Relieve pain, purify your skin, and increase energy. A Sunlighten sauna is a place to heal, a place to reflect, a place to invest in you. Visit them at sunlighten.com.
Hi, I'm Ashley Grace, co-founder of Hemp Company. Hemp CBD improved my life so much that I started a company to help others naturally feel better. You don't have to have had a severe brain injury like me to benefit from Hemp Company products. If you're struggling to feel better, calm your brain, or better deal with daily stress and want to do so naturally, please try Hemp Company products. Search Hemp Company and use code OLR for 20% off and free shipping. That's Hemp Company and code OLR to feel better naturally and calm your brain.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette. Do you know why I love Paleo Magazine? Paleo Magazine was founded with the purpose of providing readers with the information they need to live strong, vibrant, healthy lives. They are dedicated to partnering with leaders in the paleo community to spread the knowledge of ancestral health principles without the influence of big pharma or big agriculture. Paleo Magazine. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, or visit them at paleomagonline.com. That's paleomagonline.com.
Hey, this is Sean Wells of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. One Life Radio is proud to partner with the ISSN. The ISSN is the world's leading scientific organization dedicated to the science of supplements and sports nutrition. For their latest conferences and events, go to the ISSN.org. That's the ISSN.org.
Sun Warrior believes that plants provide the cleanest and most powerful foods, rich in antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and phytonutrients. Our bodies crave real foods, especially in this age where we heavily process everything we eat, stripping out all of the benefits and nutrition well before we have a chance to even use them. Illuminate your body, mind, and the planet with Sun Warrior. To learn more, visit them at sunwarrior.com. That's sunwarrior.com.
Hi, I'm Charlize Theron with People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Almost all the puppies for sale at your local mall were churned out by breeding facilities called puppy mills. Constant confinement drives the dogs mad. They are impregnated continually until they can no longer produce a litter. If you choose a dog from the mall, a dog you could have saved from the pound will die.
Contact PETA to learn how you can make a difference at 757-622-PETA or visit PETA.org.
Oh, yeah. Girl, I must warn you, I sense something strange in my mind. Yo, situation is...
You thought Diamond forgot about me for a second there.
Welcome back to One Life Radio. This is Bernadette with Lexi Brinkley, Diamond Gray. We've got Eddie Lott in studio and Jill Lane. We're talking about raising the bar. We had such a response from the segment that we did last week about talking about all the protein bars out there, all the health bars that are on the market, which ones are good, which ones aren't, and what effect they have on your body, what ones have a lot of sugar, which ones have sucralose, and all these things that are important. And everyone, I think, pretty much grabs at least one of these bars a week. Would you agree as they're out and about living their life?
Yeah, I mean, it's like almost a $900 $900 $900 million. Okay,
Gotcha.
you got me there. I had
Yeah.
to think that through. Industry. So, I mean, the stats would show that people
I'm
are eating
surprised.
bars.
I would think it's even more.
Yeah,
So I
agreed.
found this new one that I picked up today at Royal Blue Grocery because they have a ton of them. I also picked up Think Thin. I want to talk about that because a lot of people buy those. Thunder